Howdy! Last time, we looked at a good-looking indie rally game. When I was ranting on about the current state of racing games, about how stagnant and sometimes boring it is, I said that the only way to find some diversity is to go indie. Well, I should have corrected that. What I should have said is that there are two ways to find diverse racing games: indie titles and old titles. There were a lot of amazing games back then. Some luckily had mainstream success, like the Burnout games, the Ridge Racer series, Midnight Club, and of course, Mario Kart. But then you have those mid-tier games, and that's where the gold mine is. You have your 4 racings, your Shotoku battles, Rally Sport challenges, Eve of Destruction, and all that. Gameplay styles are varied to a degree, and they can be fun in different ways. But like I said in my other rally video, the racing genre takes a lot to get used to it, and that includes car racers. Can anyone tell me how the drift boost works here? And because of that, racing games can often be overlooked and overshadowed by more mainstream stuff, like Gran Turismo and other Gran Turismo. But never fear, as I, a borderline unknown in the reviewing scene, will be covering a unique yet overlooked some game from Electronic Arts, a studio more famous for their football games and killing underperforming developers like Christy Noam and their pets. Topical! Remember EA Sports? Oh, it still exists? Sorry, I mean EA Sports. It was a label within a label that was used from 2000 to 2008 for more arcade-like sports games, such as the Street games, Def Jam Vendetta, and of course, the SSX games. Damn, I really should review Tricky, but for now, here's Shox from 2002, or Rally Shox as it was known in Japan. It was developed by EA UK, who previously made a bunch of football management games and the console version F1 2001. Later on, they made a bunch of Future Wizard Cup games, the often maligned PS3 port of the Orange Box, and Burnout Dominator. I hope you know who actually made that because it'll be on the test. It was only available for the PS2. There was a GameCube port plan, but that got cancelled. That sucks, but it also sucks here that it was made in just 8 months. The crunch must have been unbearable regardless if the game turned out to be good. So let's see how this game plays in the year 2002. Anyway, the game boots up and you get one of the iconic ESB animations with a deep voice guy going In the Japanese version you just get the EA Games animation. Shocking to learn that it's not sold on that brand there, isn't it? Startup career, and you get to hear the Chrome 959 driver boasting to you.
You gotta beat the rest to race the best, and I'm talking about me.
They also taunt you every time you win a class trophy, so there must be a driver to never mess with. The basic gist is you have to get the average first place finish in all the class's 6 races to win the trophy. Get all 4, and you get to be in the Shox category and presumably defeat the Chrome driver. Pick your first car in the compact class. I went with the 911. I wouldn't consider it as such, but it sure is a compact car compared to the new ones. Why yes, this was released during the era where EA held exclusive rights to the Porsche brand, with a few strays in the way. If you've been noticing the Z fighting and the car suddenly turning chrome and not chrome, that's the fault of PCSX2. I never had this issue on a real PS2, but I felt recording it here because it can upscale the game with the emulator. So the game from 2002 looks great. It's so colorful and not in a sensory overload way. The scenery is so nice to see, with little distractions and landmarks around the tracks. The car models don't look bad either. They also have visual damage, so there's no excuse for Polyphony to, yeah, I'll shut up. I like how you can see your name in the license plates, like in NFS High Stakes. So nice. The HUD is rather simple, like very. There's no timing of any kind, and no tachometer, which means this game has no manual gearbox option. Good. It just shows the speed you're going, which turns amber as you go faster, the position you're at, potential earnings, and this circle which also doubles as lap progress. It looks okay, but it's just odd to see a racing game not include a timer, whether it goes up or down. Many arcade races had it. I don't think it's a requirement, but the absence of it just puts the game on the same camp as that Paw Patrol game. Sound design is alright at least. The engine noises sound nice, so I can give props to that. It's better than the Rallycross GT3. Welcome to Sophie's POV, where I keep bringing up bad sounds in old Gran Turismo games and bad car models in the Forza games. This never gets old. Like in the first 2 SSX games, this game has an announcer. Well, 2, but you mostly hear 1 in the races. It's fine, and he has a lot of energy at least. I like how he says this whenever you enter a shock zone. It's like he's getting screwed over by the game. I sure hope it isn't foreshadowing something. Though I don't like that the lady announcer kept asking me if I'm sure about gambling my money away.
Are you sure you want to gamble? Are you sure? Are you sure you want to gamble? Are you really sure?
My God.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure?
She's as annoying as me. Xbox has lost his way. Did they? Did they really? Sophie, stop being a contrarian cunt! Hang on, there's gambling mechanics in this game? I'll explain later. For music, I assume that they're licensed, though I never heard of these artists before. But despite the small list, the techno soundtrack is pretty great and fits the theme of the game. My favorite being B-Route, the first song you've heard in this video. Or is it Chameleon? I don't know. The EA Tracks thing says both songs are called Beat Route, so it's confusing. I had to check racing soundtracks to know which is which, and yes, the one I'm talking about is called Beat Route. Silly, I know. I take back what I said about Asphalt 9. This game has the slowest free count ever.
3, 2, 1.
The subtitle for this PAL version may say Rally Revamped, but this is actually Rallycross racing, just in more exotic locales instead of more purpose-built racetracks. As suspected for an EA Sports big game, it's an arcade race with its own twist. But before I get to that, let's talk handling. The cars turn like our rally cars do. In tarmac, they're grippy, and in dirt or snow, they're slippy and prone to drifting. However, I feel that it's exaggerated, more so than even GT3's Rallycross races. It's very noticeable when you drive the more powerful cars. Now, I don't mind arcade physics, it's why I love doing races over anything else in GTA Online. But I gotta be honest, this game is frustrating. For one, the physics can be janky, like so janky. And I'm not talking haha funny jank like in the WWE 2K games. No, the jank makes it hard for me to like the game. The game tricks you to think that it's stable when you start with the compacts, but as you progress further, the jank becomes more apparent. You would not believe how much I witnessed rolls and sudden stops from opponents. That's how jank this game feels. If there's one thing I hate more than opponents being jerks, it's the goddamn physics. And the AI drivers are just as bad. Sure, it's funny to see them move sideways like it's a PC version of Need for Speed 3, but they are a bitch to battle against. The rubber banding is in full effect, as they really wanted to be with you, whether you're in first or last. Not only that, but they like it to hit you, block you, and just downright prevent you from winning. Like, holy shit! Coupled with the physics, this game is a recipe for anger. And don't get me started on the track design. But if I have to talk about that, I need to first mention one thing. To give you an understanding of what this game is actually about. You know Forza Horizon? You lost me. In Forza Horizon 5 at least, there's this PR stunt type in free roam mode known as Trailblazer. No, they're not hill climbing challenges. What you do is get from point A to point B by going straight through the scenery. If that means going through forests, jump down cliffs, fun stuff. Like any PR stunt, you get stars by going over a threshold, in this case how quick you get. It is the only type in the series that is time-based, which is disappointing. I wish there was a PR stunt that's like that, but on paved roads. So why am I telling you this? Well, Shox walked so that Forza Horizon can run. Enter Shox zones. Once you enter one, you have to get to point B as quick as you can to earn money. Yes, money. Not only do you win money by finishing races, you also get it by going through these designated zones. The quicker you go, the more money you earn. But if you hit a wall, you lose a bit of potential cash. Not just that, but you can earn a medal, with gold being the best, obviously. And if you go the zones in one race session, a shockwave will show up at the next Shox gate, and you have to touch it before it reaches another for more money. Keep doing it until you mess up and the wave reaches it untouched. Now, it is neat on paper, but in practice, This brings me to the track design. On their own, they're not bad. They have high jumps, wide paths, and pretty good scenery, so not unlike the SSX games or even GT3. But now coupled with the Shox zones, it did make me wish I reviewed Freestyle instead. Sometimes the zones are placed in sections that can easily be possible to get gold, others I'll challenge you with jumps in a way and have to know the specific way to gold it. And then there's ones that make me go, oh for fuck's sake. Why can't I die? I find the jungle tracks the best, even with the sharp corners, but the desert tracks are just the worst. The jumps are a nightmare to tackle, especially this part. Holy shit, I hate the game's physics! The snow tracks are okay, but this icy slide is a mess when going upwards, especially with the final part with an uneven ramp. If that doesn't spell bullshit jank, I don't know what is. Someone's gonna look at this footage and say, no, you're actually playing it wrong. Oh, please tell me what I'm doing wrong, because I feel this game isn't cooperating with me. Oh, you have to slow down the ramps and turn just before it to tackle the corner right next to you. Yeah, if the physics and the opponents allow me to. Oh, I see you're actually driving the worst car in the class. Bitch! Are you really calling the Peugeot 206, the car that won 3 consecutive WRC constructed titles and made Marcus Gronholm a household name after winning the WRC twice with it, the worst car in turbo class? The 206! The worst in class? What, are you gonna tell me the Evo 7 is actually the best, even though I never won a single rally in this life, and it's worse than the Group A Lancers? Fuck you! Anyways, here's the car list. Fuck, I should have used the anger filter throughout the video. It's short, but also varied, with old cars, newer cars, and a Porsche Cayenne for some reason. Why isn't it sports category? It's anything but. Actually, why is it even in the game? It's like Drew Carey in the Royal Rumble, it's just an odd choice. But other than that, it's a great list. I quite like the choices, such as the 306 Maxi, the Porsche Rallycross, the MG Metro, the MG Metro, and this Escort. Love seeing this specific Escort in games, though for some reason it's called the Escort RS Cosworth, despite looking like a WRC car and not the Group A one, but whatever. Weirdly enough, the PAL Japanese versions, it has the classic Mini Cooper, while the US version replaces it with the first-gen BMW bit Mini Cooper for, I guess, promotional reasons, I don't know. The Australian version has a Holden Utah as one of the turbo cars. Regional differences. The cars are divided into 4 categories, from the slow compacts to the ridiculous Group B machines to the power class. And some picks are hot, like you have the Cayenne sitting next to Group A cars in the Stratus, an old 911 Dakar racer next to modern rally cars at the time, and the less said about the compact class the better. As I said some time ago, when you first start your career, you get to pick your first compact car for free. Now you might be wondering, how do I get a car afterwards? I'll get to that pretty soon. Finally, I managed to get all 4 trophies to enter the Shox category, where it's 4 races against a Chrome 959 driver in 1 lap. No Shox zones to worry about, it's only pure racing from now on. And I quite enjoying them more, helps that the opponent is a pushover if you drive a platinum earned car. Only problem, I have to get platinums to unlock those races, at least 8 to get them all. Now, how do you get a platinum? Well, you have to get all the gold Shox zones in a race for a specific car, and that means having to unlock some cars to do those races. Now, the easiest way to get them is to just buy them outright, but they're super expensive, so the other choice is to gamble the money to race head to head, but the 2 same cars for the short track. You think that it might be fair and even, but hold on. The rival car gets a second head start, so you have to catch him up and pass him till the finish. Now, having said that, you think that it's gonna be a doozy, and you'll be right. Some cars can be easy to get with just one try, while others are a pain to get. Every requires some skill to get them, like the MG Metro one. I kept fucking losing, unfortunately, because the opponent's car just seems better at handling the course than me. I kept losing so much speed in this corner that I wonder why I'm doing it, and how can I get through it quicker. Turns out you have to brake, so yeah, skill. In a game with janky physics and abusive AI. It can be frustrating, sure, but if you lose, the cost of entry will almost be halved, so it mitigates that. You can also have all of the class cars gamble costs by mastering gold in the race's Shox zones. No need to do it all in one race, just get a section gold after your last race. Still, I hate this method of earning cars. It's just too bad it's the cheapest option to get them, and you don't even get your money back when you win. But these aren't the only ways to get cars. If you platinum a race, you earn a special version of a car with better stats. All of that just seems tempting, giving you less headaches when getting new cars. But really, having to platinum some races to finish the game, after all I've witnessed, I'm just gonna call quits. I'm fine not being a Shox master, I don't wanna go through plywood. There's multiplayer, where you can either race with up to 3 other people locally, with AI drivers, or face off in the Mayhem arenas, where you just play tag. One good thing about this game is that you can either play with a multi-tap and 4 controls maximum, or just have 2 controllers with 2 people using each, the same method used in Micro Machines 2 on the Mega Drive. Though if you use that method, you'd be called a weirdo or something. You know what, I'll use the Mad Cats. That was Shox, and I can see why I like games about stage-based time attack races over something like this. between the AI opponents, the track design, the zone placements, and the janky physics, it is difficult to say that I like it. Shox is in fact, and by fact I mean my opinion, the most frustrating racing game I've ever played. And I played WRC 2 on Expert. The frustrating difficulty doesn't make me want to finish the game, so why even bother forcing myself to do so? If you like this game, that's fine, but for me, I'd rather play something less overwhelming, like the next game I'll review, the sequel to the first game I reviewed on this channel, 10 years in the making. Yeah! Hey, it's Pinky. I'm waiting for my boyfriend to arrive for our special dinner. I'm just letting you know that I'll be visiting you next week. I feel like talking to you in person more than just texting you. If you have anything special to say, wait till I come in, okay? Because I also have something good to tell you. See ya! Aren't you a boring fuck? So, why exactly do you want pure humans for, Vincent?
Pure humans, despite not having anything special to them, are very special to me. They are fragile beings that manage to survive for so long. But in these trying times, it's less than likely that they'll persist in the future.
Yeah, well, with climate change, political turmoil, and the threat of another global war, one that could bring humanity to extinction. Unfortunately, it's impossible for one person to change everything for the better, but what do you propose for them?
Conversion, my dear. Once you have the courage to quit the hellish elite forces, then I'll allow you to witness your rebirth.
If that means what I think it means, then I will. That or they'll fire me anyway, but regardless, I cannot wait.
A toast?
A toast to our lovely relationship.